Welcome to your Farm and Home Show. My name is Joanna Coles, and today we're visiting with Kristin Hildabrand, Warren County Extension Agent for Horticulture.
Absolutely. We're going to show people how to make seed tape at home. And I know a lot of times when gardeners get to growing their own gardens, they want to do things by seed. It is a little bit cheaper to do it that way too. A lot of times when you're doing seeds, they can be very, very small. And a lot of times when you direct sow those seeds in the ground, it's easily washed away. You know, sometimes birds can get to it. There's a lot of different challenges with that. So we're going to show you how to keep the seed in place using seed tape. And this is something that you can also buy, but once you learn the mechanics of it, like what we're going to show today, it's really like super easy to do. You can do this during the winter if you need to, and then that way when you're ready to go with your garden, then you've got this right at your fingertips.
My biggest problem though, Kristin, is when I direct seed and then I have to thin those out, I don't like pulling them out. I feel like it's wasteful, or I might not thin them enough, and this seed tape kind of helps with some of that.
That's right, it holds it right in place, and so that way whenever you go right out to the garden, all you have to do is make your rows and put this right on top, cover it with soil, and again you're ready to start off and growing. So we've got some toilet paper. That's going to be our tape part of it. Now we went ahead and made a glue, and how we made that was just about 2 tablespoons of flour, and then you want to add just enough water just to kind of make that glue or that paste. You don't want it real watery because a lot of times the seed can wash off real easily. Kind of make sure it's nice and thick. You'll also need a ruler to kind of measure off your spacing of your seed based according to your seed packet, and then we've got a permanent black marker just to help us be able to see it, and obviously we need some toothpicks, and we've got a paper plate with our seeds on it. Now to make our seed tape, Joanna, we're using a lettuce, and it's actually a butter crunch lettuce, so it's like one of the lettuces that's real popular among home gardeners. So what we've done is beforehand, before we get ready to start, you need to know that you need to space that about 3 inches apart. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our ruler here and just lay it directly on our toilet paper, pull that apart, and then kind of go like that, because the tape is going to disintegrate after you water it.
And can you make this as long as your row?
Yes, you can make this as long as you need to. What I'm going to do is I'm just using a toothpick here. So I'm just going to drop it down into the glue mixture, and then just right where I put the dots with my black permanent marker, I'm going to do this in those spots, and I'm going to just take another toothpick and then just drop, and then just pick up a seed with it, and then just put it right on top.
And Kristin, this is butter crunch lettuce, but you can also make a seed tape of all kinds of small seeds, right?
Yes, you absolutely can. There's a lot of small seeded type, whether it be vegetables or even flowers. I know flowers kind of get a bad rap for being really small, and if you want to keep them in place, I think this is just a really good one to do with flowers like petunias. You could do it with other flower seeds as well, but spinach is good. If I haven't mentioned carrots are really good. You can do it with other small seeded like beets. I know dill and cilantro, they like the cooler weather months of the year, so that would be good too. You want to let this dry for a couple hours so that way it doesn't stick. If you're wanting to store this for a little while, you can store it in like a Ziploc bag of some sort and just stick that in the refrigerator for right when you get ready to go. Probably don't want to stick this in the freezer because the seeds will lose some of their storage that way.
When we put this in the refrigerator, Kristin, after it dries, do we just kind of roll it up and label it?
Yes, you can do it that way because it's super easy to do that on the actual toilet paper itself. And then like I said, you can always add a seed label when you get outside too, just to reinforce it, because when you do plant this in your row, it's going to disintegrate. So this one is probably going to be 1/4 to 1/8 of an inch deep. So you don't want to go super deep with it. You want to just kind of basically put it right on the top of the soil surface. If you want to get your measuring tape back out just to kind of make sure you don't plant too deeply, that would be good. But you're just going to basically put the soil at that depth based on your seed label or seed packaging, and then you're going to go ahead and water that in real well. Generally for lettuce, it doesn't take super long time for it to actually germinate. So I know sometimes it takes a couple of weeks for it to get good and established, but like you said before, we don't have to do any sort of thinning, so you do save your time, you do save a little bit of labor, and still the seed stays intact with the way that we've got the glue and we've got it all measured out.
We appreciate you watching the Farm and Home Show and hope you have a great day.